All right, so we are here with our Panda and Wickham F1 St. Berdoodle litter. They will be 6 weeks in just a couple of days. And so we are going to have our official picks on the litter on Saturday. And I'm recording this on Wednesday. So we just have a couple days before we do our official picks on the litter. So that will be fun. We do still have a couple of openings on the litter, on the deposit litter. And so if you're still looking for a puppy, don't let this pass you by. This is a really fun litter. We love anything with Wickham in it, is always a favorite around here. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and get started. Right here on my lap, I have Zaggy, and she has the lime green collar. And today she is weighing, oh, let's check right here, just a second. Here, let's see. She is weighing 6 pounds, 5 ounces. So 6 pounds, 5 ounces for Zaggy today. Okay, so what I have observed with her. So she is just going to have loose wavy coat as she matures out. As she is really big, she's got big bone structure on her. She's pretty lanky, so she's going to be a tall girl. Her personality, she's pretty chill, actually. She's not necessarily like the rambunctious, like front of the litter type. This right here is exactly what she does. When we washed them and blow dried them today, she handled it really well. When I did her pictures, she just sat there and posed, which is always nice. And so pretty chill. She does, I've noticed, like, so when we've been working with them, like we do like loud noises and like different things, just trying to get them used to different stimuli and whatnot. I noticed with her that she will get nervous and then it just takes her a minute to ease into it. So that's kind of what I've observed with her personality, is that she does, things do like startle her, but then after a few minutes, she just settles back down, and usually this is what she ends up doing. Okay, so she gained a pound this week. And so yeah, that is Zaggy. I think she's really cute. Here, I'll just move her all the way around. You can see how big she is now. Isn't it crazy when you go from that first video that we did when they just like fit in our hands to this? So they grow so fast. Okay, so next here I have Allie. Allie has a dark pink collar, and she is weighing, oh, looks like her scale turned off. Just 1 second. Zaggy apparently wants to weigh again. Okay, so she is weighing, oh, here we go, just a minute, sis. Oh, sit, just a minute. Just a minute. 5 pounds exactly today. So she is weighing 5 pounds. Okay, come here, go, sis. All right, so, again, loose wavy coat. She, as far as temperament goes, she is kind of middle of the litter. She's not the ones that are like out in the front exploring and whatnot, but she really doesn't get nervous about things. She just is, yeah, she's just kind of middle of the litter, not reserved, but not necessarily like outgoing. Can you hear her little growls? Either, but I mean, don't get me wrong, all of these are so playful. Like, it's fun because they're in that playful mode where they, anytime we get like squeaky toys out and stuff like that, they like tilt their heads when you squeak it, and they will like bark at them and stuff. And so they're just at that fun, exploring little stage in life. But as far as what we've observed with her, I like to be able to tell you if they are more of like a Velcro dog, like a little bit more reserved Velcro. That is not her. She's just kind of in the middle. She isn't super outgoing, but she's not necessarily Velcro either. Okay, so next I have Tennessee, or we call her Tenny. She has the orange collar. She was the one that had a really big white strip that goes along here. I would say that Tenny is a little bit more reserved. So out of all of the females, I would say that she's probably the most reserved. When we introduce new things, she doesn't quite know what to think about it. That's not to say that she gets over it. We work with all of them so that they can work through their insecurities and whatnot. But I have observed that with her, that she is a little bit more reserved and whatnot. So that, let's see what she is weighing today. Again, loose wavy coat. Honestly, there are not any in this litter. They all just are going to have that looser coat. There's not much variation within the litter, which is very normal. Our F1s usually always have pretty standard coats where they're that loose wave as they get older. They're not going to get their adult coats until they're close to a year, and so they don't really mature into those coats until they get a little bit older. But that is what we expect in an F1, is the looser wavy coat with very mild shedding, where you'll kind of see floofs in the corner. And so that is what I anticipate for all of them. They all have a very similar feel to their coat and length to their coat. So let's see. She is weighing, let's see. So she weighed 4.8 pounds today. And so let's see. We'll see what Marquette weighs. Her Marquette were the lightest last week, and so we'll see where they come in at comparatively for this week. Next, I'm here with Illinois, or Elio as we like to call her. She is the only reverse tri female in this litter. She is a character. My 7-year-old daughter Hazel, they are the best of buds. Nothing really slows Elio down. She is super confident. She is always, when we introduce new things, she is always one of the first to pick it up. Nothing really bothers her. And so that's a lot of fun. So as far as introducing new stimuli and things like that, it's always fun to work with a dog like this because it really doesn't stress them out. They're super confident about it. They want to see what it is. However, when it's time for pictures, it's always a struggle because they don't like to hold still, right? So she did not want to hold still for pictures. Or when we got her wet and stuff to wash her today, she didn't really care. But then when it was blow drying time, you have to hold still for blow drying time, and so she's always squirmy wormy. So she has a ton of personality. And as I've mentioned before, is Hazel's little buddy. All right, let's see what she is weighing today. The battery must be getting low on this because it keeps turning off. Let's see where we're at today, Missy. Let's see if she'll hold still for the scale, right? She weighed 6 pounds, 2 ounces. So she gained 1.5 pounds today. She took her right off. Will you bring her back, Nava? I want to weigh, Tenny, where's Tenny? And her. I want to weigh her just really fast again, one more time. I just want to see. All right, let's weigh you.
7. But
okay, so we're just gonna disregard. So I realized after we just weighed Elio, that there was something under the edge of the scale. And so I'm going to tell you new weights for those few that I've done. Elio's was correct. She weighed 6 pounds, 2 ounces. However, Allie weighed 7 pounds. So Allie came in at 7 pounds. And then let's weigh Tenny right here. Tenny weighed 6 pounds, 8 ounces. This is making me much happier. I was a little bit confused why Tenny hadn't put on more weight. So 6 pounds, 8 ounces for Tenny, okay, with the orange collar. So both of them they both gained 1.5 pounds. And then let's weigh Zaggy again, because I guarantee Zaggy weighed more as well. Oh, look at you sitting so good, Tenny. She's sitting so good on the scale. All right, Zaggy. Let's see what you weighed. Oh, goodness. Okay, reweight on Zaggy. She weighed 8 pounds, 3 ounces. 8 pounds, 3 ounces. Okay, so she gained like 3 pounds. Like 2.5. 8 pounds, 3 ounces is what she weighed today. Okay, and then, is this? Okay. All right, so we will move on to Marquette, and Marquette is the last female. Okay, so I am here with Marquette, and she has the purple collar, okay, and she always had that wider blaze that goes up the front of her face here. As far as personality goes, Marquette is actually pretty outgoing as well. She's like Elio in that she's exploring and wants to see what's going on and is adventurous. She came in at, let's see what she's weighing today. She is weighing, hold on just sister, 6 pounds, 7 ounces today. So her and Elio and Tenny are all just right there in that 6 pound range. But yeah, so I just have observed with her, she doesn't really she's always moving as well. So when I was doing pictures and when we're playing with them and stuff, her and Elio are always moving around and want to see what's going on and whatnot. So that is personality. That is what we have observed with Marquette. All right, so that was the last of the females, as I mentioned. So we will just start right in with the males. Right here I have Purdue with the yellow collar. And Purdue is a lot like Tenny, actually. So a lot like Tenny with the orange collar. So they're a little bit more reserved. They just take a little bit longer when we're teaching them things, a little bit more Velcro. Where they want to be, where we are when we're out playing and stuff. There's always those that want to be right here where we're at. And Purdue is one of those that I've observed is that way. He is weighing 6 pounds, 2 ounces this week. So him and Elio came in right there at the same. I think he's so cute. I love the different widths on their blazes. So his is definitely a lot skinnier here than Marquette that I just did. And so it's just fun to see the different little looks on them. He has a very short nose to him, very St. Bernard look to his little head there. So that is Purdue. Okay, so now I have Houston here with the gray collar. And it's funny because he's kind of going through a phase right now where he's actually a little bit more reserved about the things that we introduced to him last week. He was one of the more outgoing. And so, they do go through different stages and whatnot. But actually, he is a little bit more Velcro than I thought he was going to be. And so that is kind of what we've observed with him this week. But honestly, with the St. Berdoodle, you really can't go wrong. And none of them are that reserved. I would say that Duke is probably the most reserved in the entire litter. And he takes a little bit longer when we're introducing new things to him. But the rest of them are pretty average. Nothing too where I'm oh, let's not send you to too loud of a house or anything like that, because they all adjust to the new stimuli really well. Okay, so we'll go right here. We'll go ahead and weigh Houston. And as we've kind of observed, Creighton and Houston kind of went back and forth on their weights and whatnot on who was the heaviest. And then Creighton like passed him up last week. So let's see how they do this week. Okay, so Houston is weighing 6 pounds 6 ounces this week. And so Purdue gained 2 full pounds, and then Houston gained 1.5 pounds this week. So that's a lot of fun. We will go ahead with Creighton next. I hope that you guys can see these reverse charts because they're seriously so cute. They were like the cutest little fur balls. And they do have those blocky heads on them. And so that's a lot of fun. Let's see where Creighton's coming in. Oh, Creighton won again. He's 7 pounds. Yeah, he's like exactly 7 pounds this week. So he gained 2 pounds as well. Okay, so Houston's kind of like Zaggy, where they aren't necessarily like out like at the front of the litter, and they take, when we first introduce them to something, they're kind of like, but then they just don't care about it after a minute and go to sleep. So he's a lot like Zaggy in that still sleeps a lot and just is pretty chill about life in general. So, and you can see, I love the white abstract down their little necks when they sit up. You can see those. I think it makes them very, it stands out. It's very stark contrast there. So yeah, they're so cute. All right, so next I have Duke, and he has the dark blue collar. Duke does have pretty like perfect St. Bernard markings to him. As I mentioned, he is probably our most reserved. He's a little bit more standoffish and whatnot, so he takes a little bit longer to warm up to things and whatnot, and he always does, like he works through all of the new stimuli and whatnot. It just takes him a little bit longer. When the kids are here playing with them and whatnot, he's not necessarily the one that wants to be out like playing with the kids when they're being all rambunctious and loud and whatnot. He's a little bit more standoffish. So I do feel like, I mean, he would do great in a family as well, but even just like right there, see, he's just a little bit more sensitive to things. So he would do great in a home that maybe doesn't have really loud kids running around. That he would probably do great in, you know, just like a single family home, or with a couple that just is wanting to make their fur baby their baby. And so he's, as I said, he's the most reserved and a little bit more sensitive in the litter. So he is weighing, let's sit right here, buddy. Good boy. He's weighing 7 pounds today too. So that, he gained 2 pounds as well. Him and Creighton both last week were exactly 5 pounds, and this week they are exactly 7. So they both put on quite a bit of weight. Okay, so next I'm here with Arizona, and I think he's so funny. So he isn't like quite as adventurous as like Elio and Marquette, but he wants to be. He's like so curious and whatnot, but then sometimes he's like, ah! And so he's quite the character, actually. He's got a really funny personality. He cracks me up all the time. He tries to be brave, and then he freaks himself out. So it's funny. He's quite the ham. Here, let's see if you can see him a little bit better. He, I bet, is weighing less than Houston and Creighton this week, but he's still just solid. I mean, they're just solid little things. Let's see, what are you weighing today? Yeah, so he came in at 6 pounds 3 ounces today. And so let's see, he gained like 1.5 pounds, so he did really well as well. But he just, yeah, he's quite, I would say he's the class clown, probably. He's funny. He's got that funny personality that he's just making us crack up all the time. All right, so right here I have Diego, and he's the last in the litter. He was the one that didn't have the full collar that went around the neck there. He's a lot like Zaggy and Creighton. So he's big, he's chill. He might get nervous about something, but he settles in. He does really well. I mean, he literally, his pictures took like 2 seconds because he honestly just like sat there and posed. I was like, I'm done. And even like with his blow drying and all of that, I mean, he's chill. He's super chill. So he is weighing, hold on just a second, buddy. Just a minute. 7 pounds, 9 ounces. So he definitely is the heaviest male. Yeah, he's our biggest male. And so with Creighton and Duke, right, they're behind him, and then Purdue, Houston, and Arizona, or Erie, they're all just right there in that mid 6 pound range. And so this week, actually, they will continue with Mom. We have their first vet appointment at the first of next week where they'll get their first round of vaccinations. And then next week is actually when Mom kind of starts well, actually Mom's already kind of getting really tired of them. We encourage Mom to stay with them through the 6 weeks, and then in that 6th week is when we start kind of weaning her off, where she just will be in with them at night, and then we just pull to where she's only in there for like an hour in the morning and an hour at night. And then by 7 weeks they're completely weaned. But at this point we're starting to kind of transition a little bit. But they have been nursing on Mom and relying on her for most of their nutrients, but now they're almost completely relying on their kibble and our magic mix that Mama T makes for them. But as you can see, they have all put on 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds, to, if you're Zaggy, 3 pounds this week. And so they are transitioning really well. They're doing really well. We're really pleased with their progress with like the doggy door, going outside to go potty. They're doing really well with that, and they're doing really well with their new stimuli that we give them every week. As I mentioned, there's a few of them in the litter that are a little bit slower to be okay with it, but they all pick it up and are doing fabulous. So yes, this will be our last pupdate video on this litter, and our last official video or pictures that we do on the litter from this point out. As I mentioned, we'll do their official pics on Saturday, FaceTime appointments with our deposit list. And then after that, we are really just trying to focus on getting them weaned, getting them to the vet, and then trying to get them set so that they are ready to go home at 8 weeks. And so we don't spend a lot of time trying to do pictures and all of those things. We do videos that I will upload on Instagram, so I'll put them on our stories a few times here and there and whatnot, so that you can see them for those last 2 weeks before they come home. But our focus is really just on them and trying to get them ready to go home, not on getting them pretty for pictures. So anyway, yeah, it's been fun. I hope you enjoyed our pupdate videos for our Panda and Wickham litter. And our website is rockyridgetribe.com. Our Instagram is rockyridge18, so make sure and give us a follow.